I enjoy that. And it's the competing, not the winning, that's important. And it brings me back to when, like all children, I enjoyed in my youth pony riding. This is the Finglas Race Track. It's not the Curragh, it's not the Epsom, it's not Cheltenham. But this track here is every bit as important to the young people of Finglas as the Curragh is to Vincent O'Brien. There has been a lot of adverse publicity in the media of people keeping horses in council estates. In many cases, people are failing to recognise the primeval need of man to be associated with animals. In Finglas, that need is satisfied by young people keeping horses. Why do you keep a horse?
Well, mainly because I love horses. I've had interest in horses since I was a kid. I went to be a jockey and unfortunately I didn't make it. And I came back and now I'd like to see a few kids from Finglas going and trying to turn out to be probably professional jockeys, probably top jockeys.
So what are they looking for in a horse here?
Well, mainly the kids here look for a nice quiet pony. If it can gallop, they'll come up and they'll have a go and see if they get a few shillings on a Sunday off everybody.
And how much do they pay for a horse?
It depends on what size and how well the horse is.
Approximately, for the type of horse we've seen here today, what's the approximate value of a horse we've seen here today?
Well, some of them could range from £100 up to £300 or £400, depending on how much you want to spend. You can buy you can give any amount of money for a horse. Here, even in here, you can give up to £600 if you want it, for any type of horse here, if you're willing to pay that. It's up to yourself how much you want to pay and what type of horse you want.
And what do the parents think?
The parents, most of the parents, when they have a bit of interest in the horses, they find that out that they're not out drinking and they're not blackguarding. They're trying to look after the horses and go on to better things, I think, myself.
The lads look after horses very well and the race are on, they bring them up here, you know. I don't see them getting ill-treated.
They don't get ill-treated?
Oh, not at all.
Yeah.
They don't.
And do they create any problems down in the houses?
They go into people's gardens and that, but yeah, apart from that, you know what I mean, I don't mind them coming in my garden.
Do any of them get hurt?
No, I suppose it's the odd little fall, but apart from that, they're used to it, I suppose.
This is your horse?
Yes.
What's his name?
Pepper.
Pepper. And where did you get Pepper?
Got him in Smithfield.
You got him in Smithfield. And how much did you pay for Pepper?
£80.
£80. And how are you able to afford to feed him?
Well, I work with my dad and do odd jobs and all.
And where do you keep him in the winter time?
Winter time, well, build a stable out the back every winter, like start at the winter and then knock it down at the end.
And how are you able to do this and keep up with your schoolwork?
Don't know, just something what you have to do.
I'm here in West Finglas, far away from the crowd, far away from the races. People down here in these fields enjoying themselves. What people don't appreciate is that Finglas is at the junction of town and country. And the people here like to enjoy, you know, town and country living. But there are problems. There are problems associated with keeping horses in housing estates in built-up areas during the winter period. There are problems associated with food, there are problems associated with stabling. And the people are attempting to resolve these problems by building in their own backyard stables. Stables which they can keep the animals over the winter period. And I'm going to have a look at one of those now. And these are good. This is a positive approach. This is where you have it. Oh, this looks to be a nice stable, yeah. Oh, lad, how do I? How are you? This is Star's stable, and as you can see, it's a perfectly adequate stable. Good solid walls, good solid floor, adequate ventilation, adequate drainage, and here he is with good, solid, comfortable bedding of wood chippings. The animal itself is well cared for, and the body weight is good, the feet are well cared for, and he's obviously perfectly well groomed and well looked after. This is one of the better stables, and it's perfectly adequate, and it just shows what people can aspire to. And Star is absolutely perfectly happy here. That's a fine stable, lads. There's no doubt Star's doing well there. But tell me, can the young people here afford to keep horses in conditions like this?
Yes, in a lot of places they can. Out in here, this stable costs, a single box it costs £180 to have built. To maintain it costs as little or nothing. The shavings that you see are for nothing as well if you can get them. I go to get them. They're for nothing.
Tell me, where do you get your winter feed?
Well, there's a Belgian farmer out the road here, and we usually go out and we buy the oats from him. He charges us £10 a bag, and a bag of oats lasts quite a while, you know. Most of the kids, like, they'll get it from their fathers, or they do odd jobs around the place. You see them doing gardening, and they go out selling logs in the winter time and different things, you know.
Stimulates a little bit of industry in the young lads.
Of course it does, yeah. Like, the kids are all, they're all mad to get out to work for to earn a shilling for to keep their pony, you know. And it saves them from hanging around corners. It puts the interest in them to work and everything.
Accusations have been made that there's cruelty and that there is abuse involved.
There's very few. I think there's maybe 2 kids out of the whole lot. Now, there's probably 100 kids involved in horses. They mightn't all own horses, but they're involved in the horses out here, and they love them. And I think I could pick 2 or 3 out of the whole bunch that would be a little bit cruel to them and ill-treat them. But with a little help, we could get that out of them.
I believe that the kids have a great responsibility when they have a pony to look after, and they look after them. Most of the kids that I see every day of the week look after their ponies.
So you can keep a horse in a council estate?
Yes, no problem. I've worked at umpteen stables, and some of the horses out here are probably just as well off as they would be in any stable, and any Curragh or Castleknock or anywhere.
During the 3 days we spent making this film in Finglas, I saw no evidence of cruelty to horses. However, the Dublin Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals have consistently reported cases of cruelty that they have come across in the Finglas area. They are opposed to horses being kept in council estates. 3 times a week, DSPCA Inspector Maurice Byrne patrols Finglas.
Some of the people can afford them, basically, but most of the kids can, I don't know where they get the money to tell you, but they come around with £200-300 to the Smithfield market and buy a horse. They can't afford to keep it, basically, but they don't know where to keep it. They've no facilities to keep it. They can't feed it. They'd leave it out on public ground. Just can't. It's not possible to do. And everybody wants a horse nowadays. The kids that are looking after their horses, the kids that haven't got a horse, they might steal it, ride it to death, and we pick it up in pieces in some field, half dead. They have to get a vet to shoot the animal. Of course, it's not because they haven't got a place to keep it, and the other guy is robbing it, so it's crazy. We're just doing our job, basically. We're not out to make it, to do anybody. It's just the animal. If he's in a bad way, people will have to do something about him. But they resent us because we're Dublin Society for Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. We're people in uniform, which they resent because they don't like the police either. So it's the uniform, I'd say, they dislike more than anything else, and the van, because it's an authority. What can you do? Hey, kiddo. Where you going?
Up to the field. We got Luke's in the road.
Who owns them? You're getting them shot today.
Yeah.
You want to get them shot very quick, and you shouldn't be riding them. So look at him. He's falling right down.
It's only walking him on the ground.
He's tender too. You're walking him on the ground. Who owns this one?
Local lives it there, but I'm on down here's mine.
How old are you?
14.
14, kiddo. You're riding. Look at his back.
That's the way I bought him.
When'd you buy him?
Like 2 months ago.
2 months ago.
Yeah.
That's less than 2 months old, kiddo. It's real tender there. Can you not put something on it and leave him, rest him for a couple of weeks and let him get better instead of riding him around, making it worse all the time? He's not broken in. He's been ridden anyway. Huh? Who's riding him? He's worn down. Look, he's tender, look. Look at him. Watch. Sure, if we get a call for an injured horse, by the time you get here, they've shifted him and hidden him, and we go looking for him, and it's just crazy, you know, because they They hide the animal that's in pain, which we're going to get a vet for, because they're afraid that they'll be prosecuted.
Well, it's marvellous. Seeing a little girl feeding her foal brings us all back to childhood memories, something I'm sure we all enjoyed. Well, you've seen the story. Now you can make your own mind up.